I didn't see that.
There you go. See,
There.
so we missed some of it. Yeah. There. Thanks, Dennis.
But we can also, if you want copies of this, um, we can also send you or email you a copy of the file itself. I know people don't like to necessarily be read to, so next slide is a code of ethics. Lions do have a code of ethics, and again, during my district governorship, I talked about the code of ethics, and I compared it to the code of the Old West or the cowboy code, and it's amazing um, how similar they are to. It's all about service, not about self. It's about the aid and helping out others. Um, one of Marty's favorite lines is that one at the bottom there: "To be careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise, to build up and not destroy." Um, I think he used to end a lot of his meetings with that line. Okay, I'll send it over to Marty for your club.
Okay. So now we're going to add a little bit of background there. Now we're going to look at your club. And I guess that something to emphasize that it's really your club. It's not, it's not the president's club. It's the officers. It's your club. You're a member of the club. And as Keith said earlier, I really feel like you have become the club is functioning well. It's more like a family. So it's you know,
Good point.
yeah, so sometimes we get along with family members, sometimes we may not, but overall they're there to support each other and help. Um, let's see, I know we only have a couple people. We had people sign up from various clubs. Ann and Joanne, what clubs are you with? I'm sorry.
I'm with the Mechanicsburg Club.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And I joined the Hanover.
Oh, okay. So for some reason I didn't have Hanover on the list. Okay, my mistake. But anyway,
Well, I was only inducted on Tuesday, so maybe you didn't get the notice.
okay. My bad. Or that's okay. So basically what we're looking at with clubs here is that the date is when they were chartered. So some of the clubs have been around for quite some time. Mechanicsburg, I think, just celebrated their 75th anniversary the other year. I was lucky enough to attend that. Hanover, let me look in the book quickly. I knew
I
the
want to say
alphabet.
32.
Okay. Okay,
Maybe I'm
so,
wrong. Am I right?
well, let me find it.
These are
Hanover Lions Club, yeah, 1932, 8/12, 1932. I was
There you
not there
go.
then. But yeah, good job.
Thank
So
you.
again, just giving you a feeling here and just for your benefit, oh, we see Nancy.
Yeah.
Hello, Nancy. Can you hear us, Nancy?
Yes,
Okay. And which club are you with?
Yorktown
Yorktown. Okay,
Lions.
great. I was getting ready to kind of explain. So Yorktown is a branch club. So a branch club it begins with 5 members, and they're like sponsored by another club. So Yorktown branch is sponsored now by Shiloh Club, and they were founded. The branch club started back in 2022. So we just wanted to acknowledge that. And then we don't have someone, we also have Leo clubs, which are made up of youth, most of the time affiliated with a school system or a school. So let's get going here. So going to drill down on each one of these topics very briefly, looking at, officers, meetings, service, fundraising, dues and budget, traditions, awards, communication, and member benefits. Because there are a number of benefits of being a line. So when we look at the officers, there are a standard constitution and bylaws. The international organization has a constitution, bylaws. The clubs can follow the standard ones, or they can vote and change that or add to that. But again, it can't be in conflict from the one that's established by the international. So again, club officers, again, depending on the size of your club, some people might wear a couple hats, but normally these are the positions that we would like to have in place. Sometimes people have a second vice president or first vice president to kind of be in the line of succession to move on. So again, you can kind of take a look at your club and see where you are. All of you are somewhat relative new members, so you may, in the near future, you may end up, taking a position, hopefully, and have some fun. I was tail twister for my club for many years and really enjoyed them. I'm not sure if the members did, but I enjoyed it. So with elections, again, usually the officers are elected for a one-year term, although there's some clubs that have moved to having presidents serve two-year terms. And there's also some clubs that have co-presidents. So they have two people elected and they serve for 2 years in that position. So again, the president looks at appointing a committee together. And again, I don't need to read all this, but basically it's a process of selecting people and then voting. And then the term begins in July because the Lions year kind of runs from July 1st to June 30th. So,
Now,
you
now in
know,
our club, we don't really appoint a nomination committee. The incoming president, the first vice president, becomes the committee, and it's their responsibility to fill in the other positions.
yeah, so sometimes we'll see that. Sometimes you see references made to committees, and sometimes depending on the size of the club, the committee is maybe one person sometimes, as Keith alluded to. Well, let's get going here. When you meet, days that you meet, and times, again, that's really all up to the club. How often, where, when, things like that. So some clubs, I think Yorktown, you meet during the day, lunchtime, I believe. I visited that club a few years back. And again, it's a very variety of places where people meet. Some Lions clubs are fortunate enough to actually have a building or facility, but many meet at churches or VFWs or fire halls, or where they live. Some even move, meet at a restaurant and have a meal. So some clubs have meals, some don't. So, and some clubs meet twice a month. Some clubs meet, maybe once a month. So it varies. Again, as our motto is that we serve. So again, usually each club has various service activities that they do. And again, there's like 9 areas of service that Lions International has put forth. And just recently they added mental health and wellness. So again, with some clubs, they might be involved with certain areas and certain areas not. So again, vision screening is a big one, food drives to address hunger. I know my club just did for Halloween, a trunk and treat. So we kind of had some fun and provided some things for the children in the area. Now, with you all are relatively new, have you seen any service projects that any of your clubs have done, if you want to share? Maybe you're all too new. If you're too new, that's
Well,
okay.
This is Anne.
Okay,
My fiance was a past president, and during the time that he was past president, I wasn't a member, but he I helped him out with the golf benefit in
Okay.
Hanover. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, so that's some of my experience. And then, of course,
Okay.
attending some of their sessions together,
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? It's, again, it's just trying to get a feel,
Mhm.
make it a little interactive here.
We have, as certainly a small club, we have projects pretty much every month throughout the year.
Okay,
So,
okay. So that's good. I mean, that's really even for, a small club, having at least one type of project is good. And as Ann said, often sometimes we invite family members or other people who are not members to kind of come to a service project, watch and, with the hope that maybe they'll become, interested and join. But that's great. So again, then we kind of have the service projects and then we have the fundraising. And a big key here that's underlined here, and which really sets us apart from so many other organizations, is that every dollar that we raise in fundraising in the community pretty much goes right back to the community, or some other lines project. So it's spent to help address a need. So again, different clubs do different things. Classic is chicken barbecues, bingo, car washes, um, various types of things. And just want to point out that occasionally, um, sometimes the Lions clubs might be doing something for some other organization that the other organization may give money to the club for helping out. And that kind of leads into the next slide here with the budgets and the fact that we kind of usually have two sets of books or two accounts where the fundraising money goes into the activities or maybe community funds, depending on what your club calls it. And then there's the administrative budget, which really funds the activities of the clubs and the members, and that's due to the dues, raffles, fines, and things like that that the club does. But again, as I said, was pointed out to me a few years ago that if your club helps another organization where it's not a line sponsored event, but you're helping them do something, then that money that comes in can go to the club's administrative fund. For an example, the Lions Club helps out at the York Fair, and those funds come in and go to the club to kind of help some clubs fund, overall operations. A big part of Lions Club is traditions. So it might be service projects, it might be a parade, a Christmas tree lighting, a Christmas tree, putting up Christmas lights, putting up flags, various things like that. So again, um, the hope there is that people see what we do, because often what we see is a comment that the Lions clubs are the best kept secret in the community. So when we do something, it's not that we're bragging, but we should, if we have vest or Lions clothing, we should, make it known that we're, who's doing this to kind of help move things along and have some visibility.
Marty, you talked about wearing our vests. When we went on the disaster relief project down to Mayfield, Kentucky, the Pennsylvania district coordinator gave us all vests to wear. And we asked him, well, when should we be wearing these? He said, the only time you shouldn't probably wear them is when you're sleeping. So he said, basically, if you're outside in public, you have to have your vest on.
Okay. So that was why your vest was wet. You were wearing it when you took that shower, right? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So another part of being a line is recognition. So there's a number of awards that are given out. Membership keys. I won't go into all of these, but membership keys are for if you bring in new members for different amounts, you get different levels of keys. Chevrons or something that, since all of you are relatively new, it'll be a little while before you get one because the first one comes in at 10 years. And that's just like a little banner type thing that clicks onto your Lines pin to kind of indicate how many years you've been a member. Extension awards involve, if you were to help start another club or start another branch club somewhere. And the various awards here, again, the past district governors have an organization and they take references or nominations from the general district members and clubs, and they may give a PA Counselor's Distinguished Service Award for someone for a line that's kind of gone beyond, above and beyond the normal operations of a line. Just touch on one of these other ones, the Melvin Jones Fellowship. That's again to recognize someone who's done extremely good service, extraordinary service. And again, that's generated by the club or the district making a donation of $1,000 to LCIF. And then the recipient gets a plaque and a lapel pin. And it's quite a prestigious award to get. So again, those are just some of the awards that might be available. There's other ones that, you'll probably come across maybe. Cloud communication, again, the key, as Keith alluded to in the very beginning, many years ago, there wasn't, there was only a few ways to communicate. Nowadays, there's all kinds of information out there, ways to communicate. So again, the club newsletter, websites, email, Instagram, word of mouth, still telephone, still, you could send snail mail. But again, being aware of what's going on is kind of a key to being successful, and sharing things with each other is kind of a key communication. It really does make a difference. And membership benefits, again, as Keith alluded to, it's really you're part of a larger community. In the training that we both took for district governors, it was amazing when we were in Chicago. I was in this big room, and in the back of the room, there were 10, 15 different interpreters, because again, in that training class, there were people from all over the world. So that was the day it really hit home that we were an international organization for me, because locally you just don't get the scope of how large the organization is and the fact that it's all over the world. So again, gives you all kinds of support, leadership abilities, satisfaction, having some fun, learning different things. Again, in the years that I've been aligned, I must admit, I have so many good friendships, so many people that, if I wasn't aligned, I would have never been in contact with. And, again, as Keith said, I really feel that, we've made a difference. And again, there's some basic practical things. There's some discounts for 1-800-flowers.com. Point that out to Keith so he can send his wife some flowers soon. And car rentals and things like that, hearing aids through Beltone, and some hotels where you can get a discount. So as being a line member, that there's some other practical benefits that you might be able to take part of. Okay.
While we're on that slide, Marty, I'd like to just talk a little bit about some of the resources, the free resources that are out there that you can get to. Lines, there's an outfit called Lines University, where you can get a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree from Lines University. It's all done online, and it's free. It's absolutely 100% free. Also, we locally here, we have RLLI, which is a Regional Lines Leadership Institute. And that's usually held in Harrisburg up at the State Lines building. And that's usually free as well. Now that is in-person training, and that usually starts on around noon on a Friday and ends around noon on Sunday. But the district pretty much pays your way for that, including your hotel and meals. So there's all sorts of resources available through Lions that it's both Marty and I graduated with Lions University. I have a master's, he has his doctorate, and that alone is just phenomenal. The amount of information you can pull from Lions University.
Thanks for pointing that out. Yes, so there's plenty of things there. Lions University is somewhat tied to the U.S.-Canada Forum, which was just in September. It was at Atlantic City this year. Next year it's going to be down in Memphis. But that's something that you may want to look at attending. Again, it's a 3-day conference with lots of training, lots of opportunities. A lot of fellowship, usually have a service project there and things like that. So again, lots of things that are available to you. And
It's like
even
what-
with the Lions University, you can take classes there even if you're not looking to, get a degree. There's a lot of useful information there. Okay, so now we'll kind of move away from the club and look into the district and multiple districts. So we are basically in what is called 14C is our district. And each district has an elected district governor, although in some cases, some districts now have people that have been appointed, in many cases, people that were district governors before and have been appointed. But 14C, again, the club you're in is part of 14C. And again, that covers Adams, Cumberland, and York. And it's subdivided into what we call zones, which are kind of made up of a number of clubs. And right now, I think we have 43 Lions Club, and I think we just started another Leo's Club, so I think we might be up to 5. So multiple districts are formed in a territory. So Pennsylvania is multiple district 14, and there's 17 districts there. So again, we have districts that Western Pennsylvania to over towards Philadelphia. The state office, as Keith alluded to, is up in Harrisburg. And we do have one paid person that is the state administrator. But each district governor from each district is part of the council governors, and they meet periodically 4 times a year, and they kind of guide the operations of Lions in the multiple district. Of note, the chairperson of that district council, of that multiple district council, goes on a rotating basis. So it's coming up that next year, the current district governor, Doug Nace, who is from Keith's club, the Brogue Community Lions Club, will be the council chairperson. So that's kind of a feather in our hat coming up, and Doug will do a good job with that. And again, these are our leadership in our district. So you see that there's people from various clubs. Again, all of these people usually, like the second will move to first moves to district governor, and then usually we have somebody coming in to be second. Cabinet secretary sometimes serves multiple years. Again, they're kind of selected by the district governor. And cabinet treasurer, Phil, we've been very fortunate to have him. He's been district treasurer for quite some time now, for a number of years, and does a fantastic job. Again, I alluded to the zones, and here's the listing of the zone chairs. And a zone chair is really kind of the liaison between the district governor and the clubs. So they usually have what they call advisory meetings, where they have the president, secretaries, other people from the club can come and join to kind of get a feel for what's going on in that zone. So we kind of see the various ones. And then the district is also driven or governed by the Global Action Team. The district governor kind of chairs that, and then he has a membership team. So again, the positions there, again, we play a lot of alphabet soup here, but the GMT is in charge of membership. Myself, I serve as the GET, which is extension, looking at modifying, starting new clubs, getting new clubs. We have a GLT, which is in charge of learning and training, and then service to kind of help spur on service. And then the key with all of this stuff, it's basically anytime you do a service activity or do some learning, you should alert your secretary of your club, because that can be recorded or should be recorded in the portal. Because again, where we kind of fall short sometimes is we do stuff, but if it's not recorded, if it's not documented, then it's almost like it didn't happen. So it's something to kind of make sure that even this training here is something that you can report and have credit for yourself and your club as an activity. And again, districts conventions are held. So this is where representatives from all the different clubs would come together. And again, we usually have a cabinet meeting there, possibly, and have the election candidates, and we have people designated that can vote from each club. Based on the size of your club, you have different individuals that can vote. This year, we're kind of switching it up again a little bit, and I think this is going to be a pretty exciting convention. It's going to be at a different location, a different venue. And again, I think something to keep in mind if that you might want to attend. Usually,
I know what that
some
is.
fun.
April the 11th.
Yes, the 11th, April the 11th, in 2026. So you've got some time to plan on this one. But again, it's an opportunity to get together with members from the various clubs in our district. Often we bring in, sometimes we have an international director, which I think Keith will be explaining what that's all about. But we have sometimes a speaker that comes in that kind of motivates us and gives us a different perspective on what Lines is more on an international level. And again, alluded to the fact that in 14C, we have a number of service traditions or areas that we've kind of addressed. A big one is recycling used eyeglasses. And again, Dwayne Hall does a great job with that. And we've brought in substantial amount of money thanks to recycling these eyeglasses. So again, that's something that people can take part in and be very helpful. Beacon Lodge is a camp, a statewide supported Lines camp that provides programs for in both children and adults with disabilities, as well as a program for veterans that have been injured or disabled. The Club 500 basically is that if every club member gives at least $5 towards Beacon Lodge, your club would be recognized as a 500 club member. And again, different things here. Just want to highlight one of those. The Peace Poster Contest involves children in middle school. There's an international theme to promote peace, and these children kind of do a painting or drawing that kind of has that theme, and then we judge it, and they go, the district winner goes against the state, and the state goes internationally, and things like that. A couple of years ago, I think we had a 2nd place candidate from our district. And one last one, environmental awareness. I know when I was district governor, we kind of began a relationship with the Alliance for the Chesapeake. So we periodically plant trees throughout different areas in Pennsylvania.
Another one I'd like to just touch base with there is the vision screening.
Yeah.
District 14C is number one in the multiple district, which is the state of Pennsylvania, for vision screening children. And within 14C, Mechanicsburg by far is way, way ahead of any of the other clubs. But as a district, we are so far ahead of all the other districts. It would take 4 or 5 other districts together to even come close to what District 14C does in a year for vision screening.
Yeah, and the key with vision screening is that those devices are able to screen for any potential eye condition that children have. And the reality is that with many of the conditions, if it's screened and caught early enough, in many cases, it can be treated and kind of eliminated. Unfortunately, if it gets someone gets to an older age and it's not been addressed, it can be a lifelong problem. It cannot be reversed. So again, that's something that again we should be happy that we were able to do that. And in fact, we're looking at probably replacing some of the technology there, getting some new cameras to do that. So good point, Keith. Yeah, and again, vision is an area that Lines kind of started with many years ago. The focus was initially just on vision.
Yes.
And then here again, service, I mentioned Beacon Lodge Camp, and basically the district governor, when they come around to your clubs, often they're like selling pins, and they're also maybe asking for a donation if possible. And they have a district governor fund, and basically the district governor takes those funds that he collects or he or she collects, and then a percentage goes to various organizations. So a number of these organizations here would actually get the benefit of the donation that your club makes to the district governor. And just recently, I went to the Line Site Conservation and Eye Research Foundation. They had a seminar in Philadelphia a few weeks back, and it was very exciting to see some of the research that young researchers are doing about various eye conditions. And again, that research, that initial research, in part was a benefit. It was made possible due to this organization and donations that various Lions Club had made to them. So again, the funds kind of trickle and spread and make an impact, make a difference in many different areas. And then again, to get some information, there is a e-district organization. So our district has a website. There's also a statewide website. Again, often you may get an email sent to you from Dennis Cope, who's kind of the one that set up this, but he's the district administrator, also a previous district governor, but he kind of maybe will send something that you'll see from Dennis Cope. That's an official email from the district. We have a district newsletter that has a lot of good information, kind of highlights what clubs are doing. Again, and would encourage your club to submit articles or photographs or things to let the rest of the district know. And we also have a Facebook page too for those that are up with some of the newer social media. So again, it's kind of various sources where you can get information and various sources that you can feed in and provide information to. And now I'm turning it over to Keith thank you for surviving. I hope I didn't injure anybody during my presentation. But Keith, we'll kind of wrap it up and then we'll have some time for questions if anybody's still awake by the time we get done.
Lions Clubs International. This is the organization as a whole, and we're going to start out by taking a little bit of a trip back in time to review some of the historical highlights for Lions Clubs. 1917 is that's when Lions Clubs began. It was a dream of Melvin Jones, who was an American businessman living in Chicago. And he believed that local business clubs should expand from purely being professional concerns to focus on working for the betterment of their entire community. So in 1917, he contacted some of his friends around the country and invited them to a meeting. And almost everybody that attended agreed to merge as one association of clubs, and they took on the name of the club as the Association of Lions Clubs. The first convention was held that year in Dallas, Texas, and there was a constitution that was adopted. First president was W.P. Woods, and Jones was elected secretary, beginning a 44-year career with the organization. He explained his reasoning for the concept of service to be to the community to be that you can't get very far until you start doing something for someone else. 1920, Lions Clubs becomes international when they had a Canadian club join. 1925, Helen Keller challenged. She was if you're not familiar with Helen Keller, she was an American author and lecturer who overcame considerable physical handicaps and served as an inspiration for disabled people. When she was 19 months old, she was stricken with an acute illness that left her deaf and blind, and she overcame these setbacks to earn a college degree with honors. As an early milestone for Lions, in 1925, Helen Keller addressed the organization at the International Convention in Ohio, and she challenged the Lions to become Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. Since that event in 1925, Lions International has been really committed to the world of preventable and reversible blindness, providing services to people that are already blind or visually impaired. 1954. Oops, I missed 1945. LCI actually help draft the charter for the United Nations. That's something that a lot of people really are unfamiliar with. And there's a UN day once a year, I believe it's in March, where Lions from the United States are invited to go to the UN and sit in on whatever might be going on that day. It's been a while, but the district used to take a bus trip and go up to the UN for that. That might be something that talk the district governor into reinstituting this year. 1954. You know that the organization's motto is "We Serve," and in 1954, that simple phrase was submitted and was chosen from more than 6,000 suggested mottos. It symbolizes Lions' spirits to help and to tear away the shrouds of ignorance and distrust that separate us as human beings. 1957, first Leo Club is charted. That was in December 5th, 1957. Glenside Lions Club in Pennsylvania was charted as the first Leo Club. And the concept of a junior service club gained popularity. In 1967, the board of directors at International adopted the Leo Club program as an official program of the association, open to people ages 12 through 30. And the objective of Leo Club is to provide the youth of the world with an opportunity for development and contribution individually and collectively as responsible members of the local, national, and international community. The term Leo stands for leadership, experience, opportunity, and leadership because Leo members acquire skills that they can use throughout their life, not just in the Lions world. 1968, the Lions Clubs International Foundation, LCIF, was established. The foundation really is the grant serving area for Lions Clubs International. It is a separate entity from International. Its purpose is to fund large-scale Lions humanitarian projects around the world for any of our 9 global causes. Since 1968, it has awarded over 1 billion with a B US dollars to improve the lives of people around the world. 1973, Melvin Jones Fellowship was created. And again, this is handled through LCIF. It's a way to recognize donors through the foundation's highest honor. The Melvin Jones Fellowship is the backbone of LCIF, providing 70% of its revenues. As a recognition of humanitarian work, a Melvin Jones Fellowship is given to those who give 1,000 US dollars to LCIF. That can be done by a club, that can be done by a district, that can be done as you as individuals. If you write a check to LCIF and you technically then a check directly to LCIF, you then have your own personal individual account at LCIF. So if you gave $200 last year, there's $200 in your account at LCIF. So if you did that for 5 years, you would have $1,000, and you could actually claim a Melvin Jones for doing that. 1973, 2 things happened in 1973. One was they welcomed their 1 millionth member. And I lost a page here somewhere. That's it. Oh, 1973 was also the Melvin Jones. Yeah, Melvin Jones, and they issued their 1 millionth member. 1987, women became Lions. Another historical highlight in history is the inclusion of women as members. Today, women are the fastest growing segment of the association, and they bring a wealth of idea, energy, and skills to organization. In 2018, Lions elected the first female international president, Gudrun Ingvarsdottir from Iceland, and I had the honor of meeting her at a convention. 1988 was the first international peace poster contest. The international contest, as Marty had alluded to, is that it's for young people around the world to express their artistic visions of peace, and the theme is developed every year by Lions International. 1990, Site First is launched. 1999, LCI partners with the Carter Center to combat river blindness in Africa and Latin America. Another major milestone in our global cause of vision. Today, the network has grown to include more than 200 countries around the world to assist with everything that part of the history that you see there. The official name of the association is the International Association of Lions Clubs, or simply Lions International. This is something that was changed recently because there was confusion between Lions Clubs International and Lions Clubs International Foundation. So they shortened the name of the organization to Lions International and kept LCIF, Lions Clubs International Foundation, as the foundation name itself. The name Lions was chosen on a secret ballot because the lion stood for strength, courage, fidelity, and vital action. The Lions logo, as you can see there, consists of a gold L on a blue field surrounded by a blue circle. On either of the side of the circle is a profile of lion's head, one looking back upon a proud history and the other looking optimistically forward to the future. Organizational structure at the international. We have an international president who this year is AP Singh from India. We have a first vice president from here in the United States, Mark Lyon, who was actually my trainer for my year as district governor. I know Mark very well, and he's gonna be an excellent international president next year. Second vice president is from Kenya. I'm not sure how to pronounce his first name, but Shah is his last name. Third vice president is from Australia, Tony Benhow. Past international president and also the LCIF chairperson is Fabricio Alveira, who was from Brazil. And if you happen to come to the Multiple District 14 convention last year, you would have had the chance to meet Fabricio. He spoke a little bit of English, but he operated mainly with an interpreter. The International Board of Directors, Marty alluded to this. A lot of times for our district convention, we'll ask to have a international director come in to do the main theme discussion on Saturday afternoon. There are 34 members, and again, we have 7 constitutional areas across the world, and there are 34 members in the international board. The U.S. and affiliates are Constitutional Area 1. The International Constitution and bylaws govern the operation of the association and establish the rules by which the association functions. And Marty had mentioned about the Constitution and bylaws. They develop the main set of bylaws. Then that goes out to the various multiple districts, and from the multiple districts down to the district, and then down to the club level. If there is any question between any of the Constitution and bylaws, the international set of bylaws takes precedent over all of that. The International Convention is, I have to admit, I've never been to one. Marty was to the last one, which was down in Miami, but it brings lions from around the world for a week of business, education, and celebration. And this is where, again, elections take place for international officers and votes on changes or modifications to the Constitution and bylaws. And you can learn more about the International Convention at LCICon on the web. The next year's convention is going to be in Hong Kong. It was originally scheduled to be in Atlanta next year, and then there were some scheduling problems
Did you write that
with
down?
with Atlanta. And from what I understand is the scheduling problems have now gone away, and they could actually host the convention, but it's too late now. They've already moved everything to Hong Kong. 2027, the International Convention is very close again. It's in Washington, D.C. So it's, as you can see there from the rest of the schedule, we have 3 coming up in the U.S. over the next several years. I think that one in Helsinki would be a fun one to go to. I used to work for a Dutch company, so I got to visit the Netherlands several times, and that's just an interesting part of the world. The headquarters for Lions International is located in Oak Brook, Illinois. As you can see there, we have around 275 staff members and 11 divisions, and you can see the different divisions that are there. As district governor, you have access to several of these that normal members would not have access to. But the district and club administration, your club administrator would have access to that, as well as Dennis Cope, who is our district administrator. Uh, the membership area, I think, is open to anybody. Service activities, I believe you can pretty much get into, and you would access that through the new portal. If you have not gotten on the portal yet, I recommend highly that you get in and just take a tour of the portal. There is a ton of information on there, a lot of data, a lot of history. Service activities, as Marty had mentioned, we now have 9 global causes, and they are all listed there. The GST, or the Global Service Team, is the driving force behind getting these programs down to the club level. There is a GST position at the multiple district level, as well as the district level, and also at the international level. And it's all in an effort to empower people to be able to offer service in those 9 global causes. Some just important facts to remember in case you get into a trivia game. The official foundation, which is LCIF, was founded in 1968. And again, that's where the grant writing capability, the money, getting money for grants comes from. And it provides funding for large scale and some small scale humanitarian projects. LCIF relies purely on donations. And as I mentioned before, more than $1 billion in grants have been awarded to date. They have just finished several years ago, about 3 years ago, I want to say, they just finished their most ambitious fundraising campaign in history, which was very, very effective. And they also run a special program. I believe that's in the spring of the year, where they have a lot of celebrities come in and talk, and that's all available to again, free of charge, just to get online. The there's one we'll have to change on there, Marty, that supports the 9 global causes.
Yeah,
So
they keep adding ones.
yeah.
I missed that. I just had that there in case anybody would catch it. They would have won the car, but
Oops.
oops.
What car do I get?
Yeah, it's one of those little ones that I gave out when I was district governor.
Yeah. When you donate to LCIF, you can actually donate to disaster relief. Disaster relief is really close to my heart. I had the honor to attend, or to go along on a disaster relief trip back in 23, and that was to Mayfield, Kentucky, after an EF4 tornado went through Mayfield at 9 o'clock at night, 10 days before Christmas. Mayfield was a very, very old town. It was a town during the time of the Civil War. Actually, Grant went through Mayfield on his way to the Battle of Shiloh, and it decimated Mayfield. It destroyed over 22 square blocks. And when I say destroyed, I mean it turned it into debris. It was amazing. And ever since that, now when I see a disaster area on TV, as bad as it looks on TV, it's about 10 times worse in person. Photographs and videos just can't describe how bad these scenes of devastation are. But LCIF is again involved in all the global causes, including vision, which they help out with cataract surgery, hearing. They send out. I think there's some areas they work with Doctors Without Borders to go into villages and help with medical needs. On the leadership side, again, there International offers just a tremendous amount of training, much of which is free. The Emerging Lions Leadership is the very, very beginning of the leadership institutes, but the Regional Lions Leadership is one that is held. We have held locally here in Harrisburg. The Advanced Lions Leadership Institute is usually held in Chicago. That is I know several people that have graduated from that. That and the Faculty Development Institutes are for serious Lions that would like to teach and like to travel and do their teaching to develop new Lions and new interests. The district governors elect seminars. That's really for the people that are coming in next year as district governors. But the Lions Learning Center, the Lions University, USA Canada Forum, are all excellent choices to get basic and some advanced knowledge about lions. And again, it's all free. The certified instructor program again would be for someone who really wants to go on and to facilitate teaching. Membership development, as you all know, we're in the middle of the Mission 1.5, which is to develop a membership within Lions International of at least 1.5 million members. And really, the membership part is something that all of us that we need to think about. And there's a list there of a lot of times we don't think about some of these, but family membership. In our club, we have Lion District Governor Lion Doug, his brother, and his sister are all in our club. We have several family memberships with husbands and wives. In fact, my wife is a member, and we have several others. Student memberships, the Leo Club memberships, and the branch club over there at Yorktown has been very successful. I think you guys are up to what, 17 or 18 members now?
Yes.
So they're on the verge of having enough members to actually charter a full club. So I mean that's really, really great. And again, they started with five members. As you can see there's different types of clubs, which the traditional clubs, the specialty clubs. Specialty clubs are clubs like a bunch of lawyers would get together and form a club, or a hunting club or fishing club would get together and form a Lions club, and so on. Communications, we come back to that again as Marty had touched base. The Lions International has the Lion magazine. The district, multiple district, has a newsletter that comes out several times a year. Keep in touch with email messages, and that's usually Dennis, as the district administrator, will send out things like that. You can get to the Lions International website by lionsclubs.org. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, and also on YouTube. And there is a lot of training for Lions clubs on YouTube as well. So, want to welcome you all to Lions. There's our contact information for myself and for Marty. If you have any need to get a hold of us, please feel free to contact us. Does anybody have any questions that you might have after the discussion this evening?
You've done an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you for attending.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
And again, as
Thank
Keith
you.
said, we're all family members, so I'll send you my list for Christmas pretty soon. No, but no, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Again, if we don't know the answer, we'll do our best to find an answer for you. Because again, we want you to be successful in this. And again, my motto is that you can make a difference, and, you know, it's a positive difference, in the world. And, you know, I appreciate you.
I know we covered a lot of material this evening. It's a shame that that we throw all this at you at one time, but at least we didn't give you a test at the end of the evening.
No, we certainly appreciate it, and we're certainly glad to be involved with the club here.
Well, thank you for all you guys do. I know you're a pretty busy club over there.
Yes, seems we have a lot of things going on, especially for a club this size.
I'll tell past district governor Shirley we said hello.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? If not, again, thank you for showing up
Rennie-
this evening. And
Yeah. Any answers? Anybody have any answers?
Okay, well, thank you.
That's it.
Okay. Take care,
I
everyone.
appreciate your
Hope-
time doing this
hope
tonight
to
very
see
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mike.
Ann.
good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Joanne.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You as well.
Music can close us. Probably the only ones on.
Two of us there that didn't have their mics on.
Yeah, we're still here, but that's okay. We're going to be ending it shortly. There we go. Okay, buddy. Thank you, buddy. We survived. I don't think we killed anybody.
Yeah, I think
I'll
it
have to
worked-
see if these
went well.
guys drop in December or not. Yeah.
I think you didn't kill anybody and they didn't, more important, they didn't kill you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's good that they couldn't come through the internet and get us.
And choke us. And
Okay,
it was about an hour. That's because we got started about what 5 after or so. So it's just a little over an hour.
Yeah, lots